The Bahamas gearing up for the 50th edition of the CARIFTA Games, starting with the opening ceremony on Friday. SportsMax will have live coverage of the three-day event at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in Nassau, starting with Friday's opening ceremony. The Caribbean's best junior athletes are set to be in action in front of an expected high-energy crowd of track and field lovers. Joining us via Zoom to tell us more about the games, Tariq Williams, darling, Director of CARIFTA Media now, even though you may know her as 400-meter gold medalist at the Athens Olympics and World Championship in Helsinki the year after that. Tariq, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. I haven't spoken to you in a very, very long time, maybe 2 or 3 years. Great to have you on the zone.
No, it's good to be here to represent CARIFTA 50 in the Bahamas. So we're really, really excited here. So thank you for having us to the show.
Yeah, first of all, 2 days ahead of the competition and 1 day ahead of the opening ceremony, I suspect that a lot of action is happening from a media perspective now with accreditation, with the journalists and reporters converging on Nassau.
Yeah, just behind me, I'm actually in the accreditation center. And so it's been buzzing all day. As you can imagine, we have many of our international persons, media included. They have arrived. They are coming in. They are getting their accreditation. And everyone's preparing for the opening ceremony tomorrow evening.
Yeah, Tariq, I've never been to the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. I know it's a massive stadium. What is the capacity for the stadium? And do you expect that to be filled over the 3 days of the games?
Yeah, so our capacity is 15,000. In there, we have, of course, the athlete seating. We have the VIPs. We have the media boxes. And so I would say from January of this year, when tickets went on sale, we saw a rush to the box office and persons were buying tickets galore. We have persons that are looking for tickets. We are completely almost sold out. And so it's been a hot ticket item, and we could expect to see the stadium full every single day of the event.
Yeah, I know that the country has embraced the staging of the CARIFTA Games because the 50th staging of the CARIFTA Games matching the 50th year of independence for the Bahamas. I think Oak Trees, your title sponsor, it seems obvious even from miles away here in this side of the Caribbean that the organizing committee had very little trouble getting endorsements for this meet, and now they're ready to unfold or unfurl all of the plans to the regional public, and I may say international public as well, because we all know how good Caribbean track and field athletes are.
Yeah, certainly. As you mentioned, this is the 50th year of independence of the Bahamas. This is the 50th of the Caribbean community, and it's also the 50th of CARIFTA Games. And so it's 50, 50, 50. We are excited here in the Bahamas because, this is a very important time for us in our nation. And so we've been celebrating all year, and you will see the same excitement, passion, and electricity in the air when you come to the CARIFTA Games. Yes, we have Oak Tree, our title sponsor, on board. The first time we've ever had a medical partner came in with a very large sponsorship. We have so many other sponsors on board. Everyone wants to be a part of this event. And so we're certainly welcoming all the athletes, all the countries, because this isn't just CARIFTA of the Bahamas. This is CARIFTA of the Caribbean. And you will see that in every aspect of the games once you're here.
Yeah, it's just almost like yesterday. I remember you dominating World 400-meter women's running, Tariq. And I can't help but ask you, in your retirement years, how do you feel about the talent that you see now in the Caribbean, more specifically in the Bahamas? We know you have the current Olympic champions over 400 meters, Gardner and Shawnee Miller-Weibo. But outside of them, the younger tier coming through, how satisfied are you or impressed are you with what you're seeing coming through the system at the moment?
Well, I think that there's still some room to grow, but we certainly always have talent coming out of the Caribbean. And everyone will see as they watch these 50th CARIFTA Games that the Caribbean athletes are very special. You have so much talent coming out of the Caribbean. We have so many college coaches that are here because they know they will have a showdown when it comes to the CARIFTA Games. Certainly, we've been watching Jamaica. We've seen what your athlete ran inside the under-20 boys 100 meters. And so that alone is just an indication of the talent that still comes out of the Caribbean.
So the CARIFTA Games were held last year in Jamaica, and I was in the grandstand for much of it and just enjoying what the fans from the Bahamas carried in terms of their vibes and their energy. And I was absolutely captivated by it because they were cheering all the time. The band was loud. The band was playing through most of the session. The Jamaican crowd, they were a little bit more reserved because they only cheered when Jamaica won or what have you. But I was really impressed by the Bahamians and what they brought to it in terms of the excitement. I suspect it's going to be tenfold in the Bahamas.
Yeah, like I said, this is an exciting time for us in our country because this is our 50th independence, and you can just feel it as you move around the Bahamas. Every month there's a different activity. Bahamians absolutely love track and field. They absolutely love CARIFTA. Bahamians everywhere know everything about CARIFTA, and so you will see that the stadium will be packed. We have a cultural village that we're introducing in this CARIFTA Games where persons don't even have to come to CARIFTA. They can just come to the cultural village that will be open from 12 noon until about 3 o'clock, where we showcase every island that wants to take part, like Haiti and Trinidad and Jamaica. We have activities, we have food, all kinds of expressions of art. And so the CARIFTA Game for us, it's going to be more than track and field. It will be a total experience. And yes, the junk canoe will be there. We're going to be a little bit rowdy. But I will say this. Bahamians also know when tickets went on sale, the Eastern Grandstand belongs to Jamaica. Jamaica just goes and they buy out the Eastern Grandstand. So we know we're going to be loud, but we're expecting Jamaica to be just as loud too.
You touched a little bit on the Caribbean Cultural Village. It's going to be opened around 12 o'clock each day, I gather?
Yeah, so the Cultural Village will be open. The Cultural Village will be opened every day, but during the times when we are on break from the Games between 12 and 3, that's when you're going to find there's going to be more activity inside the Cultural Village. And as I mentioned, there's going to be all sorts of expression of culture from some of our Caribbean countries. As you know, we have a lot of our Caribbean countries that have communities here, like I mentioned, Jamaica and Trinidad and Haiti. And so we will see song and dance by some of these nations. Everyone will have out their best dishes. And so we're encouraging persons, whether they're attending the CARIFTA Games or not, just to stop by the Cultural Village, which is just outside of the track and field area. And so it's going to be a fun time in the Bahamas this Easter.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Are there any other activities that are going to be taking place concurrently with the CARIFTA Games just to tie in Bahamas' 50th celebration?
So there's so many. We actually do have a website that's dedicated to it. And it's just not activities that will be happening in the Bahamas. It will be happening everywhere Bahamians exist in the world. And so our independence celebration is coming up later on this summer, which will be probably the center focus of everything that's happening for us this year.
Yeah, Tariq, I know that you are a part of the reason why the Bahamians are #1 ranked with gold medals won at the Olympic Games per capita. 8 gold medals for the Bahamas with an estimated population of about 389,000. So we congratulate you on the input that you've had with that impressive statistic. And we wish you, as a media coordinator for the CARIFTA Games, success with the Games. I know it's going to be big. That's part of the reason why SportsMax is partnering with the organizing committee to stage this event, because we know the CARIFTA Games will be, over the 3 days of competition, world class. And we wish all the teams all the best. And we hope you have a good 3 days of competition, and the Bahamians are as loud as you expect them to be, and the competition as fierce as we expect it to be.
Yes, certainly. Thank you. We're here with open arms, ready to welcome all of our visitors. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Tariq Williams, darling. She is media coordinator for the CARIFTA Games, the 50th staging of the CARIFTA Games. Donald, I know that when the CARIFTA Games were staged in Kingston last week, you were busy there preparing your award-winning documentary on the games. You're not in Nassau now, unfortunately, because we could have had an encore. But the outstanding Ricardo Chambers, world-class commentator, will be there. And I think the viewers must be excited about the CARIFTA Games, because we know that it has been, for decades, the platform, the building block for so many of the Olympic and world champions that have come from this part of the world.
As soon as champs was complete, that was a question that was asked on social media as to who will be carrying the CARIFTA Games, and we can proudly say once more that we will be the home of the CARIFTA Games 50. But yeah, so many things to look forward to this year, and on the back of the performances from the likes of Alana Reid and Adeja Hodge, those two will go head to head in the 100 meters. So again, that's something that I'm looking forward to. We did speak with Jaden Hibbert on The Zone a few weeks ago, and he was unsure whether he would have taken part at the CARIFTA Games. His name is on the list, so he's down to take part. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the triple jump, and so many others. CARIFTA 49 was an absolute success in Jamaica, and I suspect that the Bahamas, they have something to add to it, and it ties in quite nicely with the fact that they're also turning 50 as a country.
Yeah, and you know, the promoters and organizers of the CARIFTA Games, which started back in 1972, will constantly boast, as they should, that, you know, the greats from the Caribbean, 99% of them started at the CARIFTA Games. The Usain Bolts, the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Prices, maybe Ato Boulder not on that list because he grew up in the United States of America and wasn't a part of the CARIFTA family at the time. But you name the Olympic champion that is parading for the Caribbean over the past 3 or 4 decades, and you can rest assured that the CARIFTA Games would have been one of the early opportunities that they had for international competition and intense competition to get themselves ready for bigger meets like the Pan Am Games, the Commonwealth Games, the World Championships and the Olympics. And
that's why the Jamaicans had the edge, right? Because they have been used to that competition and the intensity of rivalry from basic school.
Yeah.
So I think it was more for the Eastern Caribbean or the rest of the Caribbean to take part in something like this and excel. So it's really good for the region. It's really good for all the islands to just come together and just just feed off each other, play off each other, because it's good and it's going to raise the level of competition when they do go onto the international stage.
Yeah, so the CARIFTA Games again, the opening ceremony live on SportsMax on Friday evening, and the competition Saturday, Sunday and Monday. The 50th staging of the CARIFTA Games, and the countries all trying to topple the Jamaicans who have been dominating the CARIFTA Games, topping the medal table since 1985, 38 years in a row. And the Bahamians are a bit tight-lipped about if they will be breaking the Jamaican dominance, but we'll see if they'll be able to do it. They're at home and they're going to have the support. Break time on the SportsMax Zone. We're at the track next.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.